If we could just figure out how to do this one thing, we would be super successful. It's insane. Yoo-hoo! Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Joanna Lampejo. You can also find me at joannalampejo.com, or you can stay in touch with me as well via my Instagram page at the Millennial Homemakers blog, where I talk about family lifestyle, blogging, homemaking, and a variety of awesome ways that you can basically earn some extra cash. Now, for those of you that have been here for a while, hello and welcome back. And today I am going to be talking about 7 things that you can do today, right now, to get yourself ready for 2021. Now, if you are like me, which most people in this world, you will know that 2020 was insane. I don't even think there's a word to quantify what 2020 turned out to be, but what a year it has been. Now, the optimist in me, which means the optimist in you because you're watching this video, is really hoping for awesome things to take place in 2021. Now, if you're like me, you will begin to understand that it takes a little bit of organization to kind of get you kick-started, even though I'm sure you went into 2020 thinking, I'm organized, I've got this, and I was of the exact same mindset until life happened. So this time we are going to start again, because that is the purpose of just new beginnings. So without further ado, we're going to get right into the video. And subscribe if this is the kind of content that you are interested in. Like and share this video with someone that you feel could potentially benefit. So coming in at number 1. Now, this is gonna be a different kind of declutter video. And so I felt really inspired because coming into 2020 for me personally, I had all these big dreams and big ambitions, and there's nothing wrong with having any of those. And sometimes external factors take place and there is nothing that you can do. However, coming into 2020, there's so many things that I started that I didn't finish. And that's a disclaimer. And I think I'm putting it out there because I had to take some time to really reflect on where I went wrong and what I could have done differently, and kind of thought, what can I now do moving forward going into 2020, but more so, how do I progress into 2020 and kind of kickstart my 2021 so that I'm not completely off my vision, so to speak. Number 1 is going to be decluttering your mind. Now, that's a weird one because that's like, I think, like the secret to life. How does one declutter one's mind? And I've put that at number 1 because I feel like that's where it starts. Once your mind is decluttered, they do say, don't they, a clean home or a clean space is the beginning to a clear mind. And I feel like a lot of the times your home being messy, or your personal surrounding, or just the space that you're in not being in the place where it's meant to be, and things being everywhere, and it creates a distraction because you always feel like, oh, I need to do that and I need to do this, which means that you procrastinate and you're kind of like always chasing your own tail, and it's just never ending, and it's extremely frustrating. Now, I'm a mother of 2. I work a full-time job, and there are so many other little things that I do outside of that because that's life. And you find that you can easily get into a rut where you're just going round and round, chasing your tail, and in the end you sit there every night thinking, I just wish I could have enough hours in one day to just do everything. So how do you declutter your mind? So one of the things that I have been doing for probably the last 6 months actually now has been brain dumping. So like literally brain dumping everything that's in my mind. I sit there and I just dump it all onto a piece of paper, or I dump it onto my phone in my notes, and I've just got it out of my system. And then I'm able to basically go through that list, and I'm able to categorize what is priority versus what isn't priority. And this really has been super helpful. And it's weird because I never really did that. I mean, I did it, but on a very small, weird, different kind of scale. But I think sometimes making mistakes or going through life and finding that things don't work or go according to plan is a good thing, because it helps you really sit there and think, right, okay, how can I make this work, and what contingency plans can I put in place, and if that doesn't work, then what else can I do? And I think that's so cool. So I've broken this video into 3 categories. So when I've been decluttering, I either put it in these 3 categories. It's either you're going to be donated, so if it's an item, it gets donated. If it's an item, of course, then it gets sold. And if it can't be sold, then of course it literally just goes straight into the bin. Like, there is no compromising whatsoever anymore. But decluttering your mind is definitely one of the first steps, because they always say a clear space or a clear home, a clean home or a clean space is the beginning to a clear mind. And that, my friend, is so true. So we were moving home in February, and I started my YouTube video, and I'm literally living in between homes, and obviously I was going back to work from maternity leave, and I've got, you know, 2 children, and it's not an excuse. And I think sometimes it's about realizing that it might not be the right time. You've got a vision, you've got an idea, it's just not the right time, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong also with stepping out and realizing this and then learning from it, you know. But I think from my personal experience, I'm happy I did it, because I wouldn't probably be filming this video if I didn't. And realizing that decluttering your mind is the first thing, and having that mental clear space is the beginning to really accomplish anything that you want to do. Now, coming in at number 2, I don't know about you, but I spend a large amount of time in the kitchen. Like I said, I've got 2 kids, cooking, snacks, drinks, back and forth. And so getting rid of things in your kitchen. So where do we begin in the kitchen? We begin with Tupperware and cutlery and mugs and glasses, things that are chipped and things that don't color match anymore. They just don't go, they're a bit outdated. Getting rid of all of those things. Anything you think, I'm gonna use, it's of value in some way, shape or form, it's probably not. If you're not using it today, you didn't use it yesterday, you're most likely not gonna use it tomorrow. So get rid of it, literally get rid of it. Coming in at number 3, now this is my favorite. Clothes, shoes, bags, things that you actually do not wear, you do not use. And I say this is my favorite category because you can actually sell these items, and that's probably the favorite part for me, because it's always nice to know that you've purchased something, you haven't used it, but you can actually resell it and kind of make some kind of money off of it. It's always really exhilarating knowing that you can get something back that actually you no longer need. Now, there are companies out there, you can go on eBay or you can go on Depop. There are so many apps out there depending on what it is that you're selling. So some people have higher end stuff, which is amazing because you could sell them and get quite a bit of money back. You've got mid-range stuff, and then obviously you've got low range stuff that, you know, so there's a platform for all 3 depending on where. And there are gifts really that you've probably been given by like family over the years that you've just never actually worn or used. I know it's really bad, isn't it? Yeah, I know, but do something with it. Get some extra cash or something, or give them away, or I don't know, but these are the options. Don't keep them in your house, declutter them, get rid of them, Oh, and that's another thing. So I started a Declutter December over on my Instagram, and I am 7 days in, and I am literally I've broken it all down into fragments with regards to how I'm decluttering, so I'm not overwhelmed. And if you want to join me on this challenge, now we've got a few more weeks to go, literally head over to my blog, subscribe, or head over to my Instagram at joannalampejo, the Millennial Homemakers blog, and we will literally just declutter. Now, coming in at number 4 is definitely one of my favorites. Now, it's getting rid of all electronic stuff that you don't need, that you don't use, that has just been sitting there for weeks, months, years. And I literally emphasize on years, because nothing sits there for weeks, right? And nothing sits there for months. So exaggeration on years, ancient, it's gone. And sometimes you tell yourself, I'm gonna say this so that my little kid can see it when they get older, and they can see how we rolled when we were young back in the good old days. But the reality is, it's gonna be ancient. So take a photo with the item with your kids or your kid and literally keep that as a memento. Until then, get rid of it. Now, coming in at number 5. Now, this is probably tied to number 1, which is all about decluttering your mind. Now, it's literally decluttering your calendar. So that's your calendar on your mobile device, or that's your calendar on an actual diary, so to speak. And it's literally looking at where you are at right now, today, and looking at all of those unfinished projects, unfinished tasks that you have set that you would like to do, and just really thinking about how feasible are these things, and are they going to serve the purpose that you need them to serve going into 2021, and if so, really categorizing them in an order of priority and seeing where you need to be. And I guess the whole point of this whole video is to get yourself ready for 2021. And it's crazy to think that I got myself ready, but I just didn't get this part of my life ready. It's weird, isn't it? And I think that's the beauty of life, is that you're constantly evolving, you're learning, and the more you step out and feel the fear, the better you get, and it's quite incredible. And so really looking at all of those things that you want to accomplish versus where you're currently at, and seeing how the two actually come together, and whether there's a synergy, or whether there are things that you might need to hold off on until 2022, you know, or whether there's things that you actually might just need to put in the third category, which is the bin. And that's always so hard when you're so passionate about something, or when you believe in a dream or a vision so bad. But it's really about, how can this thing in my calendar or my diary, or this vision of mine, how will it serve its purpose with my overall goal, or ultimately the bigger picture? Coming in at number 6 is, of course, the fridge. Back to the kitchen. Now, the fridge is one of those things that, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm literally cleaning my fridge at least twice a week, if I can, because it's just, it gets clustered, it gets manky, and it's a hot mess. And so the fridge / fridge freezer. Now, I like to plan in advance. I tend to bulk shop, which means I tend to bulk cook, and I'm always thinking ahead, and ultimately it saves me a ton of money. What I do is I actually write down dates of when I've cooked the food, and obviously I try to go back to the freezer and take them out according to the date, so that I know that I'm taking out things in date order, so to speak. So it's about really looking at things that you've missed over the last couple of weeks or months, or needless I say, years. No one is judging, no one is judging. We are decluttering, okay? And it's about looking at those things and literally just decluttering them out, throwing them in the bin, because we can't donate them, and we cannot and we shouldn't sell them, because it's just not cool. Now, coming in at number 7. Now, this is the last one, and it is literally what I call the junk. Yep, you know, the junk. The junk, there's that cupboard in your house, or there's that room in your house, and you've always got that door shut because there is junk in there, whether it's in your loft, whether it's in your garage, or whether it's in your kitchen cupboard, I don't know. But everybody has that one space in their home somewhere, tucked away, where there's just things that they don't want everybody seeing. That room, it's literally going in and braving it. And, you know, going into 2021, there is no junk, there is no anything, and you can go in and you can really sit down and know that in 2020 December, you've taken the time out to completely declutter, but most of all, you've had the time to also do that deep clean whilst you're decluttering, because that's the whole purpose. And, you know, going into 2021, there are no excuses, because you've sat, you've planned, and you're ready to go as best as you possibly can. Now, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If this is the kind of content that you like, or it's interesting, please feel free to subscribe, because it's free. Please do me a favor, share this video with somebody if you think that it could be of some use to them in some way, shape of form. And of course, like the video so we can get it out there so more people can see this video, of course. And of course, stick around if you want to. Follow me via my Instagram at joannalampejo, the Millennial Homemakers blog, where I talk about homemaking, family lifestyle, and some really super helpful productivity / obviously ways to earn a little bit of extra cash on the side, because I love a bit of that. And so thank you so much again for tuning in, and I will see you guys on my next video at some point soon. See you guys, bye bye.